It's Friday, you guys, so you know what that means. What is up, you guys? My name is Kira if you are new, and in today's video we are going over some super easy food hacks. And if it's Friday, then it's Food Hack Friday. So we're actually sharing these food hacks, if you guys are new, out of 2 books that I got from the Dollar Tree. Now we are doing this a little bit different. Usually I separate these videos and I do just videos out of the food hack book or just videos out of the dessert and booze hacks, but I am so behind, you guys. So I just thought I was going to combine them both this time. So I have some recipes for you out of this red food hack book, and then I have some recipes for you out of the dessert and booze hack book. So let me take you down into my kitchen and share with you some of the magic that Peggy Wang puts into these viral BuzzFeed recipes that are in these food hack cookbooks. So we are starting out with our first set of recipes out of the red food hack book, and we're starting with a breakfast hack, which I find has been the most innovative out of all of the hacks. And this is for a strawberry Nutella oatmeal that says you may not want to get used to eating Nutella in your oatmeal, or you'll never be able to stop. And I actually never thought about putting Nutella in my oatmeal. And I had this outrageous quick 1-minute oats. I found this at the Dollar Tree, 0 sugar, 5 grams of protein, 4 grams of fiber. It was non-GMO and it was $1 at the Dollar Tree. So what perfect time to try it. I had great values, hazelnut spread, which of course is Nutella, and some strawberries. So we're just gonna go ahead and follow the directions on the back for the 1 serving. So I'm doing the 1/2 cup of oats to the 1 cup of water, and it says a dash of salt is optional, but I never add extra salt if I don't have to. So we're just going to use a microwave safe bowl, and I'm going to go ahead and throw in the 1/2 cup of the quick oats. And then I chose to use water. So I did 1 cup of water just to kind of avoid on the calories if I could, especially since I was eating oatmeal. And then I was going to go ahead and put Nutella on the top of it. So I gave it a good stir, and then off it went into the microwave for the recommended time. And then here we are with a done bowl of oatmeal. So I do have right next to me some strawberries that I cut up, and then some Nutella that I stuck in the microwave and used it to kind of get soft so that I can make it spreadable. And then I just took the few tablespoons that they said and spread it on top of the oatmeal, and it was nice and hot. And then I just added those strawberries, and I literally could not wait to dive into this. The directions said to add sugar to your oatmeal if you wanted to sweeten it, but I didn't find the need for that, especially if you were going to put Nutella on it and then strawberries. So that was my first bite, and let me tell you guys, I couldn't wait to go in for that second bite. I can't see myself ever wanting to eat oatmeal any other way unless I wanted to switch it up and do bananas or something else like that. But I just found this to be such a smart way of trying something different. So if you're looking for a way to switch up how your kids eat oatmeal, if they love it but they're tired of the same old, why not throw some Nutella on top with a little bit of fruit? So I've never tried that before, and I really thought it was a quite interesting hack. So now we're going to go ahead and jump into avocados. If you like avocados, this is the time to watch for you. And she has 4 separate recipes here that she wants to do with avocados. Now, we're not doing all of them today. One of them is a Japanese guacamole where you use things like wasabi paste and crab meat. I don't think anyone in my family would eat that, so I'm going to wait to share that with you guys at a time when I can make it to serve it like at a party or something where I know somebody would eat it. But now this one says put pomegranate seeds in guacamole. It says it's true. Once you add pomegranate seeds to your guacamole, it'll suddenly become an exotic antioxidant explosion that is sure to cure ailments, enhance energy, and endow you with wisdom of 3 Greek gods. But more important, it'll look really pretty and give it little juicy bursts of tanginess. And I need to tell you that I agree with her, because this is something that I've been doing for a very long time. I call it my Christmas guacamole, and I usually make it during Christmas time since that's when pomegranates are really in season, and it always looks really, really good on the table. And it's actually a recipe that I just shared in my recent cookbook that we just released. So I've put out two, one with Nicole Burgess and Vanessa from Lemonade Mom a while back, which is available on Amazon, but this one is our new release. And for the month of February, we've been doing pre-orders. So on March 1st, it'll stop, but we're going to hardcover. We originally only released it in digital form. And so now we're going to hardcover, and our pre-order price is $14.99, but that's only until Monday, and it'll be signed and mailed to you guys straight from us, and it'll be signed by us both. But after that, it'll be available on Amazon for $19.99. So if you're interested, go ahead and send me an email. I'll go ahead and send you an invoice, but make sure you hurry up because time is running out. We just have a couple of days. So the last one on this page is balsamic avocado bacon cups, which does sound really good, but I have that on the schedule to share with you guys at a later time. What we're going to do right now is put avocado in your salsa. And this says, is this not the most insane no-brainer? Why didn't I think of that idea ever? Everyone acts as if the line between guacamole and salsa should never be blurred, as if they should be separated like church and state. Mix the two of them together and you get a drab, lumpy mess. But stirring chunks of avocado into a salsa gives you the best of both worlds. So I just have a bowl of salsa here. I think this is salsa that we just got from maybe Costco, and then an avocado. These are the avocados I got for Lauren's baby shower that were never ripe enough to make her guacamole. So we're going to use it now, and we're going to throw it in some salsa. So they really just want you to chunk it up, and they give no instructions. I just read you all that it said, but I actually thought mixing it in might not be so bad. I did leave some chunk, but I also smashed it a little bit because I don't personally like big full chunks of avocado. So I started off with one and I gave it a slice. I scooped it out and I mashed it up a little bit and I threw it in. And once I went in for a taste with a chip, I realized that I couldn't really taste any of the avocado. I just could taste the salsa. So I ended up going back and adding that other half. So I added one full avocado to what probably was about a cup and a half of salsa. And you can tell that I really didn't go crazy with smashing it. I still left semi chunks, but it really was a great contrast. All I could think about was I want to melt cheese on top of this and add some sour cream and make it so that it was almost like a bowl of nachos, but it was really good. And I've never thought about trying that before. So we're going to do some more avocado stuff, but we'll come back to that. Right now, we're going to do a leftover pancake panini. It says, okay, chances are you don't have any leftover pancakes from breakfast, but in the rare case that you do, you can make a savory sandwich out of them for lunch or for dinner. So you need a spring mix, you need some pancakes. It calls for goat cheese, but I decided to use cream cheese, and you'll see why, and then some balsamic glaze. Now, I had just made these pancakes in meal prep, and I chose the blueberry ones because I knew exactly what was going to happen. Once I started smearing the cream cheese on, it started to mix with the blueberries, like so much so that I took a paper towel and cleaned the knife off before I went back in to put more cream cheese on because I didn't want to get blueberry juice like inside of the cream cheese. But I went and smeared cream cheese on the inside, just one layer. It didn't say whether or not it wanted you to do it on both. It just said to smear a layer of goat cheese, but I really think the cream cheese added a nice texture, and it's obviously something that I already had on hand. So then I took the spring mix, and it said to use balsamic vinaigrette, but I just love the balsamic glaze. It is so sweet, but it's also tangy, and I absolutely love it. So I went ahead and put some of that, probably a tablespoon worth, on my spring mix, and I mixed it all together, and then I added that on top of that cream cheese and then put the pancake on top. Now it recommends you put it in a panini press, which I do have a quesadilla press, and I could have taken it out. It's actually my waffle iron. The plates switch out so that you can make it like a press, but I was only making one of these just for myself, so I didn't feel like taking that whole thing out just for that. So I decided to do it in a frying pan. I did use a little bit of butter because I was looking for the crisp on the outside of the pancake, and I just used my spatula, and as it was heating up, I just kept smushing it. You do have to be careful because the cream cheese will heat up, so if you push too much, it's going to ooze out of your sandwich. But I did keep going back and forth with it until both sides had a nice crisp and the cream cheese was all ooey gooey. And then that was it. I cut it into fours and I ate it, and I really enjoyed it. I started to think about all the other ways that you could do this, like maybe adding a sweet element with a candied walnut or something, or maybe going with a meat, something really savory like salami or something. I feel like I love contrast and flavor. I love savory and sweet. So the idea of putting those together, I really felt like I had a lot of ideas, but this was really good, and never again something that I would have thought of to do with something like a leftover pancake and some salad that you could have in the fridge. All right, so what do we have here? Eggs, mayo, some pepper, and an avocado. And what do those things equal? It equals making egg salad with avocado, which is something I have never thought to do before. I know a lot of people use avocado's creamy texture when they're trying to cut back on calories and using that as their fat as a spreadable moist agent inside of a sandwich. But we are going to cream this avocado and put it in some egg salad. So I was doing meal prep and I made like 1.5 dozen hard-boiled eggs, and some I left in the fridge for snacking, and the rest I put to make some egg salad. So I'm going to make plain egg salad for my family because not everybody likes avocado, and then I'm gonna try this recipe for myself. They don't even have anything for me to read out of this book. It was just a little side bubble on the side, like, hey, just a side note, if you've never put avocado in your egg salad, give it a try. So we're going to go ahead now and chop up our eggs. This is a really old egg slicer. I've had this thing for probably 25 or 30 years. I have a different one that's just the same, linked in my Amazon store down below. And anything I share with you guys in this video, whether it's my Rubbermaid containers, I really love those Rubbermaid Brilliance containers, which you're going to see in a second me put my egg salad into, whether it's this egg slicer, anything that you see here is something that I have linked in my Amazon store below, just to share with you guys my favorite tools that I can't live without. So once we go ahead and chop up all of this egg, we're going to add the mayo and then the pepper, and we're going to give everything a good stir, and then that's my egg salad base. I don't add anything else. You'd be surprised how delicious and how simple just mayo and pepper is inside of your egg salad. But now I'm going to go ahead and cream some of this avocado, and that's what I'm going to put in a portion of this egg salad for myself. Now, let me tell you guys, I am a huge lover of egg salad. I make this quite often, a couple of times a month, just to keep in the fridge. I eat it with a fork. I eat it with crackers. I just love egg salad. So I was very intimidated by adding the avocado, but it really is good fat. And if you can find a way to sneak that in, you really should. And so I didn't do it in this video because it wasn't the recommendation of the cookbook, but it's something that I did later on. I diced up tomato and some red onion, just like you would guacamole, and threw diced up onion and tomato inside of this avocado creamed egg salad, and knock your dang socks off. Was this so good? It was like guacamole egg salad. So it almost took her recipe and just took it up a whole nother notch, and I highly recommend that. If you guys love avocado and you love egg salad, throw that little crunch element in with my little added touch, and I promise you, you will not be sorry. Donuts, you guys. We're gonna make our own donuts with biscuit dough, butter, cinnamon and sugar, and vegetable oil. And if I knew that I could have done this for so long, who would need Dunkin' Donuts? Who needs Krispy Kreme? We're doing these right here at home. So this says the easiest homemade donut recipe ever. You'll never believe it was this easy to fry up your own donuts, and no one will ever guess they were made with canned biscuits. The biscuit dough actually adds a salty, buttery dimension that perfectly complements the sugar. You'll never settle for stale donuts again. And we're literally taking biscuits and poking a hole in it, on sticking it in a vegetable oil. Now you'll learn that my mistake is I left the vegetable oil too hot and I burnt them like I burn everything else. So I'm going to warn you, make sure that you watch your oil temperature. I need one of those like thermometers for the oil, but it only recommends that you put in a 1/2 inch at the bottom of your pan. Now, once your oil reaches the right temperature, you know, the kind that's not burning, we're going to go ahead and open our biscuits. And this is the perfect time for me to share with you guys my new garbage pail. First, let me just say to excuse the appearance. I had already been using this for a couple of weeks, so I used a sanitizing wipe and wiped it down so it still looked wet. But this is one of those motion censored garbage pails. I really love these. I always wanted one. The regular stainless steel foot pedal ones can get kind of pricey, and they just have a foot pedal. I love the idea of just being able to wave your hand over this. The lid opens and then it stays open for 5 seconds, giving you an opportunity to throw your trash away, and then it'll self-close. So as much as I love that, I don't even think that that is the best feature. The best feature is the fact that the garbage bag fits perfectly inside of the can. So along the edge is this black ring. So if you lift the lid, the black ring sits perfectly inside of the stainless steel container holding your garbage bag, so it never sticks out of the actual can. And I know it sounds silly, but I just hate when garbage pails have the bag that is exposed. And it's just run by a few AA batteries, and I have to say that I really love all of Cannell's products, and I really appreciate them sending them to me. So as always, I'll have all their information linked in the description box, and of course they'll be listed in my Amazon store below. So now that I have my oil entirely too hot, it's time to go ahead and drop our canned biscuits in. I was trying to make them in a heart shape because I was trying to do this for Valentine's Day and make heart-shaped donuts, but they just didn't keep their shape, what I was trying to do. But that is pretty much it, you guys. You're just gonna take a canned biscuit and throw it in there and watch it and make sure that it doesn't burn. You just want it lightly brown on each side. Now, these are the Great Value biscuits. I'm sure I would have had more success if I used something like the Buttermilk Grands biscuits or something like that. I think I probably would have made a better donut out of it, but it's literally that simple. And you're just going to go ahead and fry the entire can, and then once you're all done, you melt some butter, and I used a basting brush and I just basted both sides of the donut and then sprinkled them with cinnamon and sugar. And that was it. Now for my kids, because they looked so dark, they were convinced that they were burnt. I didn't really think they were burnt. I don't think they tasted burnt. I just felt like they were obviously way darker than golden brown. So if you guys saw my lunch video that I put out on Wednesday, I actually frosted the top of them for lunches and threw some sprinkles on it, so it looked like a frosted sprinkle donut from, you know, Dunkin' Donuts or something, and at least it hid the idea of them looking so burnt. But you guys can totally get creative, do whatever you want with these. You probably could even just fry them whole and then poke a hole in them and squeeze some jelly inside to make your own jelly donut. Really, the options are endless, but we're gonna go ahead and stick with the donut theme, and we're actually making breakfast skewers with already made donut holes, or Dunkin' Donuts calls them Munchkins. And I don't know if I would necessarily do this for breakfast. Donuts have never triggered breakfast to me. In my mind, it's always been a dessert, but I like the idea of being able to limit the sugar content that your kids are getting at night and giving this as a dessert. So you get to decide how many of these Munchkins you want to put on a stick. So this says, those cute little bites look so much more grown up alongside luscious berries. It's like they've graduated from middle school homeroom snack to classy brunch party. And I completely agree, because you could really do this nice for a brunch or something, but I just decided to do it super fun. I got the chocolate ones with the sprinkles already made from Walmart. Believe it or not, they just sell donut holes in the bakery. And I have some cotton candy grapes, I have some red raspberries, and then I have some strawberries cut up. And I had Maya alongside of me, so that was pretty fun. She was guiding me with, hey, do the raspberry next, do the grape next. and it was fun because it was something that she could do and help along the way as well. But I just like the concept of my kids, like I said, having this for dessert. This way they pretty much had fruit for dessert, and then I limited them to just 2 donut holes. So I actually think this is something I may keep doing often and have meal prepped, so to say, in the refrigerator, because again, I liked the idea of my kids having fruit and limited sugar at night, but it seemed fun for them because it was something different on a stick. Like, all kids love anything on a stick. Now those last 2 recipes, the fresh donuts and the donut skewers, along with this pretzel toffee, are from the Dessert and Booze Hack book. So this one says, say goodbye to your dental health and hello to deliciousness. The salty pretzel and the yummy toffee are 2 addictively complementary flavors. Even when your stomach and teeth are screaming out in sugar shock pain, you'll still be munching away on these. And I can contest to that because I haven't stopped eating them. Now, normally when I share out of this book, I share 2 liquor hacks, but honestly, you guys, I had to skip that. When I was filming this is when the snow was coming down and all the liquor stores were closed, and so it's just desserts this time, but they are all delicious and nonetheless. So I'm using the mixed nuts from Costco, some of the Lily's dark chocolate chips. We're using the everything pretzel crisps because, like I said, I love the salt and sweet and the contrast of flavors. We need some brown sugar and a full stick of butter. Now, I actually cut this recipe in half, and when you see how much it made, you may want to do the same thing as well. So I put a piece of parchment paper down on a cookie sheet, and then I sprayed it with some cooking spray just so that that really sticky mixture that we're going to make, it doesn't stick to the parchment paper. And then we're going to go ahead and make toffee. Did you know that 1 stick of butter and a half a cup of brown sugar make a toffee flavor? I did not know that. Where have I been all this time? Like, what did they teach me in cooking school? I don't know, but I do know that this melted up and tasted fantastic. So while that was melting down, I went ahead and poured our pretzels onto the parchment paper, and I just separated it as much as I could to make an even layer. And once I had an even layer and then that toffee mixture was bubbly, I went ahead and poured it on the pretzels that were laid out on that parchment paper. Now, I had set my oven to 350 degrees, and I stuck the pretzels and that toffee, really yummy deliciousness, into the oven, and you cook it for about 6 to 8 minutes so that the toffee almost gets crispy onto the pretzels, but it is piping hot when it comes out of the oven. So once you take it out of the oven, you just sprinkle the chocolate chips on top and just walk away for 5 minutes. The heat of that really hot toffee and pretzels, it melts the chocolate enough that you can go ahead and use a spatula and smear it across. So once I went ahead and smeared all of the chocolate along the whole top of our pretzels and toffee, then I crushed up those nuts. That's that whole big mixed nut container that I get from Costco that I love so much, that has all the different kinds of nuts in it. I crushed that and sprinkled it on top. That's it, you guys. You just pop it in the refrigerator and you let it sit for like an hour or 2 just for everything to congeal. And then once it does that, you just break it apart. And I have all of my pieces in a quart-size bag in the pantry, and everyone has just been grabbing a piece as they want it. But holy cow, you guys, absolutely fantabulously amazing. It was the perfect salt and sweet. So again, if you're like me and you like that contrasting flavor, I mean, most of us have all these ingredients right in the house. So get up right now and give it a try. But that is it, you guys, for another food hack video. I know this one was a little bit different than how I normally share, since I put the food hacks in with the dessert and booze hacks, and I didn't even share any booze hacks. But I literally went through both of these books and mapped out what I wanted to share from the food hack book and what I wanted to share from the dessert and booze hack every single month for probably, I think, think it's set for like the next year. So when I skip a month, it freaks me out because I know that we'll be sharing these then for a very, very, very long time. But if you guys like them, and then I don't mind sharing them. And if you enjoyed this video, then give it a huge thumbs up so I know to keep sharing them. I appreciate you guys so much. If you guys are new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our future food hack video, or maybe your thing is grocery hauls. Maybe you like all foodie content in general, or maybe you just like lifestyle mom content, which is exactly what I share here on the channel. So I love you guys all so much. I appreciate you all, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.